Okay, this is first take here, giving a view on Kyrie Irving scoring 50 points. You got Mally Karam, and their narrator, Stephen A. Smith, and the debater, and I don't know who this guy here is going to be debating against Stephen A. Smith today. But I'm gonna try them in as they go along.
Finals. And it's an unbelievable performance. But then I said to myself, it's against the Hornets. So are you encouraged by Kyrie's monster game?
I don't even know how to answer that specific question, so I'm just going to say how I feel. It made me want to throw up. I'm disgusted.
Time out. Kyrie Irving scoring 50 points made you want to throw up. Surprised people don't look at your hairline and say that shit. But that's me to say here or there. Keep on.
Because you got a bunch of fools out there that's raving about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant clapping and all.
Same fools, the people that support your channel, that support ESPN, that support whatever you do on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media platform you got. The same fools that make sure First Take gets generated and gets a lot of views to make sure you get a check. These people are fools because they're clapping and giving a man respect for dropping 50 points in a game due to him having to take a vaccination, a mandation that's forced in a city where players or people that's visitors don't even have to be vaccinated, could walk around in their city. But you that here in your own city, you have to be vaccinated. You have to follow by Biden rules. We're not forcing you, but you have to take it because a lot of people died from this. But there's the virus is in there, But let's not get into all of that. Let's just stay on topic. So you're mad at people for clapping for him putting on a performance, a stellar performance. And you want to throw up because he put on a stellar performance as always. This is what Kyrie Irving does. The man is a magician. Back on. Let's go.
Kevin Durant should be sick. The fans who love Kyrie Irving should be sick. Because you know what last night was evidence of? What he's robbing us of. Kyrie Irving, find me one person that watches the game of basketball that has ever denied how spectacular of an offensive player Kyrie Irving is. It's never happened. We've all seen it.
You know what? I'm going to say this about Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to say this, since you want to go there. I'm going to say this about Stephen A. Smith. I remember there was a time when the Ray Rice situation was going on. And they were trying to take Ray Rice away from the NFL league because he put hands on his wife. And you was the only person that stood up there on that platform. At that time, Carrie Champion was working with you. And you said Ray Rice had all rights to put hands on that lady just because she was putting hands on him. Ray Rice had all rights to put hands on her. Just because she was throwing them bowls on Ray Rice. And ever since then, your ass been simping, man. Ever since then, they made you get back on TV and apologize. And you was up there begging for your job, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Ray Rice was wrong. And he should have never did that to that lady. And this and that. Not from what you were saying before. That lady should have never provoked him. That lady should have never put hands on him. That lady should have never did this and that. As soon as your job come in jeopardy, I'm sorry, that lady, Ray Rice was wrong. You should never put hands on that lady. Don't care how many times she was black in his eye. You should never put hands on this lady. And I'm not promoting violence. I'm not promoting violence. I'm not telling you should put hands on women. And I'm not telling you to put hands on women because she put hands on you. I'm just going by what Stephen A. Smith said. That's all we doing. Ever since then, Stephen A. has been simping for his job. He even been simping over there with Molly Karam. So let's keep on.
This is nothing. He scored 50. So, Kyrie could do that in his sleep any night he wants to. That's how electrifying of a talent he is. What we talked about and what we lamented, Doggy, that he ain't available 100%. This is who he is. You see what I'm saying? And when I saw Kevin Durant clapping like...
And so what? He ain't available. So what? So what? Think anybody say anything when you miss a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5? You ain't available? You think we calling up there to the show? Yo, where's Stephen A. at? Why the hell he ain't on his job? They paying him all his goddamn money. How the hell he miss a day? I don't give a damn if he had a doctor's appointment. You think anybody calling up there saying that shit, Stephen A. Smith? Shut your goddamn mouth.
That last night, and everybody raving, I got ticked off. Because that's exactly what Kyrie Irving wants to do. See, he wants to skip half the season. He want to work when he want to work. Then he want to show...
Yeah, skip half the season like you skip half your life without a hairline, man. That shit pushed way the fuck back. You know what? Let me not keep going on.
Well, he puts on a show, and then everybody gets caught up in the show and forget the fact you ain't available half the time. The Brooklyn Nets are vying for a play-in spot in the playoffs. The Brooklyn Nets. When KD...
Alright. You know, with him yelling like that, we don't have to change your name, Stephen A. Smith. Your name is no longer Stephen A. Smith. You are now Stephanie A. Smith. Stephanie A. Smith. You screaming like that, boy, all that energy, 1 minute, you're toned down, your voice is all calm, cool, collective. The next thing you know, you get pitch high and Stephanie. Letting that Stephanie come out. That's Stephanie for you right there. Stephanie. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Was not injured. When he was healthy and on the basketball court this year, they were tied for the #1 seed when he went down.
Yeah,
they went from the #1 seed to the 8th seed, right? Trying to make sure they survive for the play-in tournament. What?
That's because they had a guy on their team named James Harden that was growing tired. And he came there to ring chase. You feel me? When you got a guy on your team that come in there to ring chase and not play along within the offensive system and telling the coach that he want to play more ISO ball and since you don't want to play ISO ball, I'm going to do what I want on the court. I'm going to cause y'all to lose some games. And you feel me? Now you got some mixed energy in the locker room. This dude damn near let the ball roll down the court. Let the other team pick it up and dunk it. He don't even play defense on that position. So, you know, how can you blame Kyrie when there was already a teammate on their squad causing problems for them to lose?
#1 reason that's the case, because Kyrie ain't available. But we want to ignore that. We want to ignore that. And we want to sit up there and go like this. Well, we're not going to judge him because he's unvaccinated or whatever. What about when the riots took place in the U.S. Capitol and he decided to take days off? What about the fact that this brother has played in a grand total of like 18 playoff games since they won the title in Cleveland with him?
Riots took place in the U.S. Capitol and he took days off. What the fuck that guy... The U.S. Capitol ain't got nothing to do with the NBA, Stephen A. Smith. If he taking a day off in the riot in the U.S. Capitol, he don't work for them. He work for the NBA. He take a day off because his legs probably fucking sore, man. Come on, Stephen A. You gotta make sense, bro.
This is who he's been. What about talking when people were booing and they talk about, well, they booed him in Boston and, you know, because he left them. No, it's because he promised them he was staying. Then he left. That's what happened. Because he talked about being a leader and then didn't leave. Because he...
See, now when you go into the Boston situation, he talked about being a leader, yeah. You know why? Them young boys in that locker room didn't respect Kyrie Irving in his vision. You know why they didn't respect Kyrie Irving in his vision? Because he was playing with a teammate that they all probably believe helped him give to the chip, which is LeBron James. But they overlooked the fact that Kyrie Irving hit the game-winning shot that sealed the deal and helped the Cavaliers bring their first championship to Cleveland. They overlooked the fact that Kyrie Irving also dropped 41 in the last 3 games to help LeBron James bring that championship to Cleveland. They overlooked that, but they only overlooked it because LeBron had triple-double. LeBron did this, LeBron did that. Oh, did you see the block LeBron had? So he goes over there to Boston with those young dudes, them young fellas. Them young fellas was already winning without him. So they're already like, why should we listen to you if we already made it to the Eastern Conference Finals without you? You wasn't here. We did this without you. We don't need to listen to you, old man. Get out my ear, old man. Them some young boys, some young heads. The young boys gonna run with what they run with. And Kyrie is an introvert, so he's one of them players that's like, he here to get the job done, but he's not here to be buddy, friend, Of course, I'm gonna be your teammate. We're gonna be there. We're gonna ride out to the end, but that I'm here for the job. Let's get the job done, which is a championship. All that buddy, friend. That's what they looking for. They looking for like road trips, night trips, guys' night out, all that type of shit, And Kyrie is not pretty much into that. He's just into getting the job done. He want to go in the corner, probably read a book, chill out, relax, have his little shorty in the corner in the cut, That's Kyrie, Them guys probably wanted to do more than what Kyrie was doing, so. So it didn't click. That's why Kevin Durant and Kyrie come out with a better understanding. Them two kind of have the same energy, So that's why they riding out with each other. Even throughout this mandation, look who stuck to his side. Kevin Durant. James Harden, he was a liar. First he was like, oh, yeah, I'm on your side, boy. But then he's like, oh, look, we getting closer to that ring. And he's looking around. And he's like, damn, we ain't going to win the chip. So he did.
Talked about being available. They're not being available. So when I see that,
Stephen A. make my head hurt sometimes.
Maybe not people with his
Who this white boy?
Because he is nothing short of
looking like Skip Bayless'
Kyrie is
son.
box office. My attitude, doggy, just so you know, because you weren't here when I said this, I'd give Kyrie Irving $50 million a year, 1 year at a time. I'd never trust him with a long-term contract to save my life.
They can pay for his supper.
Yeah, because that brother will not show up half the time. You know why? Because he don't love basketball like that. He can play.
And there's reasons why some of these players don't get the money that they deserve. Because there's guys like Stephen A. Smith in the media saying shit like this. You feel me? But thank God that Kyrie is a well-gifted, talented, traditional point guard. And to me, he's not even a point guard. He's like a combo guard. When I say combo, meaning the scoring ability that Kyrie Irving has. I look at a point guard. I look at somebody like John Stockton as a point guard. Magic Johnson. Those dudes average over 13, 14 assists a game. Those are point guards. Kyrie Irving, Stephen Curry, those dudes are like combo guards. You can play them at the point or you can play them at shooting guard. You feel me? Just like right now, Kyrie's there. Now they got Ben Simmons, which is a point guard. Ben Simmons is a point guard because he can damn near average 12 assists a game. You feel me? So you can move Kyrie over to the shooting guard. Even when Harden was there, the way Harden distributed that ball, Kyrie was looking like, damn, we gonna make you the point. You feel me? So, I'm the guard. I'm gonna be shooting the lights out. You gonna be the point. So The way Kyrie get to that bucket, his handles, the way he moved, this is a combo guard right here. That's where Kyrie should be positioned in conversations of guards. So back to you, Mr. Stephanie A. Smith.
He's playing because he's spectacular.
Stephanie
at it,
Ashley
and
Smith,
he's
go
playing
ahead.
because it pays well. That brother don't love it. You can talk about Harden, and we can have these discussions. You can talk about KD. That same KD that's clapping is the same KD
Nigga clapping his hands like a little broad, man.
Anywhere, anytime, any day. That brother gonna put on them, lace up them sneakers, and he's gonna show up. All right, I gotta admit to you, and I'm not joking about this. I'm dead serious. I'm not joking, and I certainly don't mean anything by it towards anybody else. But
Okay,
Kyrie
we get a close
Irving.
up on you then.
When the whole invasion took place with Russia and Ukraine, I thought Kyrie was going to skip games because of that. I ain't lying. I'm not playing. I really, really mean it. Because that's who he is. He sits up there and he looks at the world.
Let me you, because Kyrie didn't want to take a vaccination. You thought he was going to skip out on that too? For real, Stephen A. For real, Stephen A. Really, Stephen A. I'm not gonna front Kyrie. There was one time when I was like, take your ass to go play some ball, man. Like when I think it was the George Floyd shit that went on and went down, and he's like, oh, we shouldn't be playing and this and that. I mean, I think you was mad because the team told you couldn't play because of, I think it was COVID rules, or they couldn't, or oh no, I think you was hurt or something that year, and they was in the bubble, and you wanted to show up at the bubble, and you couldn't show up at the bubble because of you was hurt, and they wasn't allowing too many players in the bubble because of COVID protocols. And you was upset with them about that, Kyrie. You was upset with them about that, and I think I got that situation all wrong. Somebody's gonna please correct me. I got it all wrong, but I remember Kyrie was upset about something in the bubble. I'm gonna find out later, and we gonna talk about it in another video.
And his intellect is here and everybody else is here, and as a result, it's more than just a game. It's beneath me. I got bigger things on my mind. But could you make sure you cut that check, please? That's Kyrie Irving. That is who he has been. And so when I saw that 50 last night,
Stephen A. Stephanie. If Kyrie was that person, you think he was asking the Brooklyn Nets to cut his check when he didn't want to take that vaccination? He didn't give a damn about that check. He said it himself. That dude is... Kyrie got his own movie, Stephen A. Do you really think he's worried about any goddamn check the way you worry about a check? You should be worried about your check. Why you worry about another man's check? You worry about another man's pockets. That shit weird, bro. You weird, Steve. You weird, Stephanie. Yeah, you watching him like a broad, so that's gonna be your name, Stephanie.
Said, damn, look at this spectacular brother here. And how many games have I seen him? He don't even care. It don't matter. I miss games I gotta miss. I'll play games that I have to play. They don't lift the vaccine mandate. And Brooklyn ends up in a playing game that he can't play.
Oh boy.
Brooklyn ends up in a first round series in a game 7. And he can't play. We're gonna care more about that than him. I don't know that to be true. I'm saying that is the impression he has given us, Doggy. And that's why I was discussing.
He's 100%. I mean, don't forget the Portland, Utah, Detroit road trip that he missed last year because he went to the birthday party, which drove me crazy too. I can't do it. He's 1,000% right. I wish I could argue with him here, but I can't. He's a wonderful basketball player. He killed Curry in the finals the year that Cleveland won. Let's never forget that in Game 7. And to me...
Correct. But back to you, Stephen A. You ridiculous, man. You ridiculous.
Unlike Djokovic in tennis, who's only hurting himself because of the vaccination thing, he's hurting the Brooklyn franchise. And he's hurting Durant, who he convinced to go to Brooklyn with him, maybe the Knicks, he goes to Brooklyn. He's letting them down because he is getting paid.
But, you know, y'all can say all of this y'all want. If you want, just go look. I'm going to do a video on that also because, you know, these Sean Marks, he has press conferences sometimes. And he goes over these things in press conference. But what you guys don't like to cover is what Sean Marks says in these press conferences. And I'm pretty sure I've heard this already. I mean, I've seen it, but I haven't heard Sean Marks say it yet. But I'm hearing if the Brooklyn Nets get down and gritty and they get serious in certain playoff series, they are willing to pay the fine for Kyrie Irving to play home games. I don't know how much the fine is, but they are willing to pay the fine for Kyrie Irving to step on the court and play home games in them playoffs if it comes down to it. So all of y'all are just stirring the pot on this whole vaccine mandation shit just to keep it going in the air and to keep attacking my brother Kyrie Irving. Keep going.
And there's players on that team who need him to be healthy and playing on the court so they have a chance to win a championship. And he thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else in the room, and that is very, very dangerous. I think Steve hit it right on the head.
And you see what you did, Stephen A? You open up the door. They like, damn, this brother crucifying his own brother. Now this white brother gonna come up here and say some bullshit. Excuse my language. But this white dude gonna come up here and say some bullshit about about Kyrie Irving because Stephen A posted Stephanie Ashley over there crucifying Kyrie Irving, not even realizing he got the same color as him.
The fact that he hasn't gotten his vaccine situation straightened out is a complete disgrace. He's in a team sport. He's making $40 million a year. You owe it to your owner. You owe it to the GM. You owe it to Nash. You owe it to Silva. You owe it to the fan base. You owe it to everybody to make sure that you are available when they play postseason games in your building.
And he feels he owes no one.
He owe nobody a damn thing. The only people he owe anything to is the Brooklyn Nets. And if the Brooklyn Nets are standing by him, not taking the vaccination, which they already made publicly, that they are standing with Kyrie Irving, which Sean Marks already made publicly, they are standing with him to the bitter end, which Steve Nash already made publicly, they are with your boy until the wheels fall off. They wasn't with James Harden. That's why they got his ass up off the team. They wasn't with him. But y'all want to stir the fucking pot so bad. This media shit want to stir the pot so bad on Kyrie Irving. If that was the case and Brooklyn didn't like what Kyrie was doing, they'd have released him. They'd have released him when the season, they'd have released him. It was like, yo, you got to get up off this team, bro. See what James Harden was doing to that team? They got him right the fuck up out of there. You bring one toxic distraction on this team, you're gone, man. But, nah. Stephen A. and this guy and Molly Karam. Stephanie Ashley. Let me get you right. I'm going to make sure that name going to stick to you. Stephanie Ashley, Molly Karam, and whoever the hell this dude is, want y'all to believe that we should be against Kyrie for not taking even the Nets. But they don't want to tell you, oh, Sean Marks is 100% behind Stephen A. Smith. Sean Marks and the Brooklyn Nets are 100% with him till the wheels fall off. They don't want to tell y'all that shit. No, they want y'all to believe this shit, though, that Stephen A. talking. Keep on, Stephanie. Keep going, Stephanie.
And he's wrong. He is when you're getting paid $40 million a year and they want you to take the shot, you take the shot. And you go out there and you play. And how about Durant? Now, Durant doesn't want to get mad because Durant's I think he's a pretty good guy, so he doesn't want to get involved. If you're Durant and you sit there and you lose playoff games because this guy doesn't want to play in your building because of the vaccination thing, I'd be ticked off. Oh, no, no. You're the one, the reason I'm here.
But you're not Kevin Durant, man. You a white boy. You a white boy at work on ESPN with Stephanie A. Smith. You feel me? You continue being that white boy. You're not Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is Kyrie's brother. You gonna stick with him. And he already said that. That's why they got rid of James Harden. Get your bitch ass up out of here. You ain't with us, you against us.
We need you to win because Durant can't beat Milwaukee and Philadelphia by himself. He needs Irving.
He needs him.
And if Irving doesn't show up because of a dopey vaccine thing, because he thinks again.
Shit, if you ask me, with Kyrie Irving on the floor, I don't think Durant, Kyrie, and Simmons could beat Milwaukee. You feel me? That's a juggernaut right there. We're talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's a juggernaut. That's another story. But if the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee meet up in the playoffs again, we ain't gonna talk about it because your boy Giannis gonna put on the show. I know that dude.
Quote unquote, he's smarter than anybody in the room. That's letting Durant down. Oh, he brought the Brooklyn in the first place. So he is 1,000% correct. I've been waiting to scream about Irving on this show for the last 3 times. Now I get a chance to, but I'm with him 100%.
Yeah, you was waiting because you saw this black brother right here. You like, yeah, you know what? This is a black brother that finally tore down his own brother. I would wait for a brother to say something. I'll wait for a brother to say something so I can say something about Stephen. So I can say something about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, I don't like your ass just because you're trying to tell people, wake up. There's something in that vaccination. Don't take it. But anyways, it's always good to find light in a situation. And the light in this situation is that Stephen A is not really Stephen A. He's really Stephanie Ashley Smith. The light in this situation is that Stephen A is not a black man. That is a white woman on that show with Molly Caron. That is the light in this situation. And to actually find seriousness in this situation, the light on this situation is that for some reason, just because when people like Kyrie Irving, and I know some people are against him, Joe Rogan, say something about a vaccination, you're going against them. You're going against what what you should be taking, and since everybody take it, guess what? You gotta put your arm out too, and that goes to me saying, since I'm not the person that jumps off the building because 20,000 people decide to jump off a building. And with that being said, let's end this video because the video's over. You guys enjoy your day. Make sure you start your day with water, pineapples, and most importantly, y'all all stay positive.